Hey,
How you
what's
doing?
going on, man? You doing all right?
Oh yeah, all good.
All right. Welcome everybody to Game 38 of the Real Racquetball Show. The host Maurice Miller. I'm here with my brother Connor Shane.
Yeah, the Mike is not here this time, so I'm here this time.
Yeah, he's
that's good. How are you doing? How's everything going?
Everything's going okay. Weather, it's fantastic. 70 degrees today. You know, I love it. How's it going
I'm in
where you're
Tucson
at?
right now. I'm sweating my butt off.
You can have all that. I remember Tempe. That was interesting. No, so tonight, it's gonna be me and you, just talking about stuff going on.
Mike's actually on his way to me right now. He's on a flight to Tucson right now. We're doing our intercollegiates, so that's why I just landed in Tucson yesterday. So we're here in the lovely hotel room. If you can't tell.
I told you it was backstage, but that shirt is freaking suave, bro. I'm just sorry. I
just wanted to impress you a little bit.
I didn't say okay. So, thank you everybody for joining us. So we're gonna get right into it. This past 2 weeks ago, we had our high schools.
We did,
tell me what was your opinion of it? How'd you like it?
It was good. I mean, the when I jump on here on occasion, besides not just being your co-host, the updates that I give are usually pretty just data backed, but I don't really get a good chance to kind of give an insight of how much we really like the event. And honestly, the event was fantastic. Above all, we were a little bit low on numbers, about 100 less players than we saw in St. Louis in 2019, which is, believe it or not, like 60 more players than I expected. So we ended up with like 346 athletes. So that was really cool.
Wow.
Okay. One of the things that some people don't know is that we were planning on canceling the event. So like a month before the event, everybody got together. USA Racquetball, the Oregon leadership and the Missouri leadership got together, to talk about the event because those are the two largest programs. And, we were pretty slated to potentially cancel that due to some of the travel restrictions that high school athletes are seeing around the country. I mean, some of the athletes on the West Coast, haven't even been on the court, man. It's super tough, but we decided to roll the dice on it. And, within 2 weeks of that, we were getting calls left and right of schools who were ready to come, not just in Oregon. I mean, I was getting calls from Texas and Colorado and California. All of these two teams are planning on coming. So it was super cool. We got two athletes coming on as our guests. But it was awesome to be there in St. Louis and watching the energy. I mean, it was super fun. Yeah,
I mean, for me growing up, my two brothers and I, we never got to go to juniors or high schools or even intercollegiates. It just wasn't. I'm not saying it wasn't feasible, like not the money, but just like our high school never fielded the team. Like, sure, we could have went, but we didn't know that. And we tried to do one for collegiates, but we would have needed. It was me and my brother. It said we would needed something or whatever it was. So we never were able to do it. And going to juniors in Des Moines in June, whatever month, because my memory's bad. Had a blast, right? I mean, just talking to those juniors, hanging out with the other pros too. I'm retired, so those pros, because I'm retired, you can't speak of an experience. And like you said, we're gonna bring on the two other athletes and hear from them. Speaking of that, segue. Not gonna talk about that. We've got Josh Shea and Jack Herwig that's gonna be coming on, talking about their experiences.
Josh, how you doing, Jack? What's up, guys?
Not much. How are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah, Josh, everything good?
Yeah, all good.
All good. We were just talking a little bit about that high schools here. Before you jump into that, Maurice, I'll give you the kind of the data that I have. That high schools pulled in 346 players. We did a total of 937 matches. It was a ton, for just a short amount of time. 32 different schools. The final stats on those, we had Naomi Ross win that girl match against Heather Mahoney, and then Josh here won the boys match against Andrew Gleason. Those were 15-4 matches, and then 15-9 matches with Heather. So they were pretty sweet. I mean, everybody played pretty good.
Yeah.
And then of course Jack, the team Kirkwood, won a pretty historic match. I'll let him talk about that a little bit. But go ahead, Maurice.
All right, so we're gonna start with Josh, the boys' winner, gold one, right?
Yep.
So we just spoke. You were the recipient of the scholarship, right? Congratulations again. Going into high schools, we talked about being able to train and stuff like that. What was your not even that? Not what was your feeling? Because now you've won. Now that you've won, right? What's your feeling of that heading now into collegiates?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely gives me some confidence. And even going into the event, I was feeling confident just because I've been, playing so much and training hard. And then, seeing that, I think, really just confirm my, the belief in myself. And it also makes me want to, push harder and get even better. Because I think, played a good match and I played well throughout the tournament, but I think there's a lot of things I could, even improve on.
So
now, go ahead, Connor. Go ahead.
That match was pretty sweet. I was watching it from the next to our streaming booth with Leo up there, and that match was pretty cool. The 15-4 at the beginning was great. You were really killing it, but then you lost that second one by 2 points, and then you pulled it in. I mean, where was your head at? Tell us a little bit about what was going on, because it was a really highly watched match.
Yeah, honestly, it was kind of like a unique match just because it was really streaky. I think I was down 3-0, then I won 15-4, and then I got down something like 6-0, then 12-5, and then I think I brought it all the way back to 13-12, and then lost 15-13. So, as you could tell, it was super, super streaky.
Yeah.
But I think I really chipped away the second game, and since I was able to make it close and kind of keep fighting for every point, I felt confident going into the tiebreaker. And like I said, it was kind of unique in that I kind of just walked off the court and I wasn't really questioning anything going into the tiebreaker. I just knew what I had to do, and I just kind of stepped on the court and got it done.
So and I'm going to ask Jack this question in a second, but, high schools, this tournament hasn't been on in a while. What was it like coming from virtually no competition? Obviously, we had juniors in Des Moines, and then having to jump straight into an environment like that where we're pulling over 900 matches. I mean, was your head all over the place? What was the coaching like? I saw your parents were there, but I mean, what was the support system like?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I've never been to high school nationals before, and it was such a different environment than any tournament, and even from junior nationals, because there was much more of a team aspect, and it was really cool to see all the different teams rooting for each other, and the place was going pretty crazy. I remember a few teams, some of the bigger teams, when someone would win a point, you would hear a lot of cheering, which was really cool. It was like a high school football game or something. So yeah. I really liked that. And then it was also really official with all the coaching and everything. So it was pretty cool to see.
What's one memory you think you're going to take away from competing at your first high school nationals? Or something you'd want to your first memory, and then what would you give, let's say, a kid or another junior coming up in high schools? What else would you give them?
Well, my best memory, I would say, was really just talking to I think I met this team from Colorado. I met the two coaches and I think there was maybe 6 or 7 of them. Mm-hmm. And we were just kind of watching a match, and we were really just talking, and they were kind of asking me questions, what I do for training and stuff. And that was just really cool because they were so down to earth and curious about, how I train and stuff. So that was really cool. Seeing that they had passion for the sport and they wanted to get better. Mm-hmm. So I would just, encourage anyone who's interested in going to these tournaments just to go. And, it's really a family environment, and it's no matter what level you are, you could still have a really good time, and you will have a really good time.
Sweet. Okay.
Cool. I like that a lot. So Jack,
awesome.
Jack, my man, historic win. So Kirkwood, tell me a little bit about what happened. But for those who don't know, this was this the first team win in 2 decades, Jack, that Kirkwood pulled in?
Wow.
So that's unbelievable, right? I mean, if anybody looks at our rankings for teams, we're announcing the same teams back and forth, same team back and forth, but then Kirkwood came in and pulled it out of nowhere, really. So how in the world was that possible after 2 full years of a pandemic, after having virtually very little time to train, right? Yeah. I mean, how did you guys come in and just pull it out of nowhere?
I think a lot of it has to do with our coaches, because they've done a lot of recruiting. Our head coach works at the middle school, one of our middle schools that goes into our high school. So we got a lot of people from there. And then I noticed pretty much everybody on the team played better than I've ever seen them play before. I played really well. Everybody else played really well. And I think just the environment of we're at nationals really helped us all pull it together, and then just get a lot of points and take the win.
Now, being the team captain, did you find more of a supporting role with some of your teammates, or did you find more of a coaching role? Or was it just, we're going to all enjoy the experience and we're going to lead ourselves to victory? What was your experience being the team captain there?
More of an enjoying role, because I had matches to play, so I couldn't really coach. But I would just I'd go up to the courts at 9 a.m. whenever my earliest match was, really, and then just stay until 8 or 9 p.m. at night and just hang out with people and play. And I'd try and offer a little bit of help, but that's mostly for our coaches.
Yeah.
How many athletes are on your team, or at least were there?
We're there, I think, maybe in the 50s or 60s range.
What?
Yeah, right. What? That's crazy. That's so cool. I mean, that's a huge success model, right, for recruiting. But then, I mean, what was that like, Jack? Because I mean, there was a couple times that I saw we had two clubs going, right? Veta Concord was going, Veta West was going. And there was a couple times that I saw like the cheering really going nuts. And I would go over there and look, and it was like sometimes it was a couple kids from the same school that were playing each other. And it was just everybody was so happy and everybody was just so dang loud. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think when it's like like Kirkwood v. Kirkwood, like in the 6th seed, we all I think everybody decided to go crazy and just have fun with it.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, you're competing, but against your friends. So it doesn't impact you like that much if you lose, really.
Right. So then, Josh, actually, that question's for you then. So you came, with not a very large team, but what was it like competing against Kirkwood athletes? Where all of a sudden the cheering is very loud and very distracting. How did you get through that?
Yeah, it's definitely like a challenge, I guess, hearing like all the cheering. But I also play baseball and basketball, so I'm kind of used to like playing in like a loud environment, I guess, and it doesn't really bother me. Like I'm not someone who gets really bothered by like a ton of cheering, but it was definitely like you definitely feel the energy that was in that gym for sure. And it was honestly, it was a good environment to play in because there was a lot of excitement.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is super cool.
So then, Jack, when you and your teammates heard that Kirkwood had won that title, what was the initial reaction? Was it more shocked, or was it, oh my, like, you know what I mean? Like, what was your initial reaction? What was the team's initial reaction?
I don't know if there's so much shock because we've been looking at the standings the whole event and seeing Kirkwood like kind of getting a lead. It was just kind of, I think, relief and just a lot of happiness. Like,
First time,
I was proud of my teammates for doing so well because it was just, like I said before, we all played like out of our minds basically. So we all, it's just a whole lot of happiness, and then getting called to go up and get like the overall trophy during the award ceremony was a really cool feeling. And,
that's awesome.
So, are you a junior or senior? What's your year? I don't want to get it wrong.
I'm senior.
Senior. So, being that you won, what is something you would tell your next captain, whoever's voted on? What would you give them?
I would probably tell them to, you can invest yourself in it, but don't lose the fun. Sure. It's important to make sure you enjoy the sport and have fun with it while also like getting better and helping coach your teammates and build a team.
How long have you been playing? Sorry, Connor. I'm so sorry.
Keep going.
Just 4 years. I started my freshman year.
So now, you've now played high school nationals. Do you plan on continuing playing? What's the next step from here?
Yeah, I'm going to Mizzou. I'm going to study German at Mizzou, and they have courts down there, so I'm going to play on their team. I've got a couple of teammates I know who are going there, and a couple people from around St. Louis who I know going there. So
that's awesome. We do. I just was actually in a conversation today with the Mizzou team coming here, so we will be seeing the Mizzou team at Intercollegiates tomorrow. So that'll be pretty cool. Yeah. Well, so then, Jack, I had a question for you. Then the St. Louis in general, the St. Louis racquetball community in general is awesome. I mean, Josh, I don't know if you said you never experienced the high schools before, so it's kind of a question for both of you. We dedicated a lot of success to that event, being that kind of local organizing group. Dan Whitley and his team, and everybody on the behind the scenes. Sherry and Heather, who are working so hard and helping us out. But then, like, one of the bigger pieces of that event that you may not have seen before is that hospitality. That was pretty cool. What did you guys? Did that help? Was it cool to have all the stuff taken care of at all times? Josh, if you've never experienced it before, that the hospitality at St. Louis high schools is like top notch. Yeah, for sure. Everyone was so welcoming, and like you said, there was food for everybody, drinks and stuff. So it was really cool, and everyone was just so welcoming and friendly. So it definitely made the experience better. Thank you to all the volunteers that helped out. Right.
Yeah, we have at Veta Concord, there's this one lady who basically does all the catering and like organizes it all and cooks a lot of it. And so, I think her name is Heather.
Heather, yeah. Shout out to Heather. That's Heather. What we're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, and she's really nice. she fed 300 high schoolers. So
Wow.
Yeah, for multiple
major
days,
props to
for
her.
multiple meals. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I want to make sure that we have this kind of conversation. Both of you know that racquetball isn't my background. I came into the federation working on events, but it's cool to come in and realize like how much that actually helps your performance is a good quality like hospitality, so you guys can feel to come in and feel like you're getting taken care of. But man, she knocked it out of the park.
But yeah, thanks guys. Thanks guys for everything that you all did this weekend. Kirkwood, congratulations from winning. I don't know what that's like. Obviously, first one in 20 years. Continue to hold that all the way until all the way until
I
next
will.
year.
You
Just
don't have
keep
to worry about
flaunting
that. I
it.
will.
20 more years.
Right? Like just keep saying it every time. And then Josh, congratulations, man.
Yeah, man. Your performance was awesome.
Been seeing you compete for years now. We've talked privately. I wish you nothing but the best. Same with you, Jack. We've just met here. Whatever you all choose to do, like you said, never lose the fun in it. Never lose the focus. Just keep having fun. I can't wait to see what you guys do.
Yeah,
keep
really
pushing
appreciate
forward.
you guys jumping on. Yeah, thanks for coming in and telling us a little bit about that event. Really appreciate you being there.
Thank you.
All right,
Thanks for having us.
you guys, absolutely. Y'all be safe. That was 937 matches.
Yeah, man, it's way up there. And I was, I was thinking that question to Josh about what it was like, the environment. I can't explain it. The environment with the athletes cheering was unreal. And now that those two are off the air, I'm going to tell them that like I had to talk to some of their coaches to tell them to chill out a little bit. That's how intense it was. And it wasn't their teams, but it was like there were teams there that were like they were borderline, shaking the ground. It was
pretty rowdy. Yeah,
everybody was so excited, man, and it was pretty cool. I like that.
But and that's the passion of it, If you've ever seen, I'm pretty sure y'all have. I'm pretty rowdy, Like I'm gonna cheer on. If I know you, I'm gonna cheer you on. And there have been some people who have complained about it, and obviously I want to be respectful. It's just the passion that I have to support, and I would say it's different from juniors because it's more. I guess high schools would be more team based, and so all your teammates are most likely gonna be there to support you. I wish one day if I ever have someone or know someone is gonna go and I go, I can't wait to see that one day.
Yeah, well, and man, it's up there. Let's talk about it next year coming out to Oregon because maybe we get you in there for a clinic or something like that. But that kind of energy, having not a background in racquetball, that kind of energy brings people to the sport, right? That energy helps our grassroots growth. That's the point. So having that kind of energy there is pretty sweet.
And then now you go from high schools, like you said, you're in Tucson now, going to intercollegiates, and then get to see the college players potentially doing the same things. And whoever's going to win this weekend, we don't know. What do you think is going to happen? How much are you ready for it? How about this? Are you ready for the event?
Yeah, this one. Oh, that's actually kind of funny too, because our whole team's flying in, and I'm actually going to have to leave a little bit early to deal with some issues in Minneapolis, prepping for our U.S. Open at that early October date. But I'm pretty excited for this one. These two events, high schools and intercollegiates are team events, right? Their whole teams come out, and it's, most of the way the event works is it's the coaches that are registering these athletes. The coaches are pulling their rosters together, setting them up for divisions, switching doubles partners, and then they send us the dates and reserve it. Sometimes it's all in bulk. And what that does, though, is like you get chunks of athletes coming in. So like, national doubles, for example, we see our trend, nicely grow of when people are registering because it's one or two athletes all at the same time. But this one is like all hopped up and around because you get teams entering in bulk and you just get chunks. Chunks. So, but the trouble with high schools was that, some Oregon kid or some students on the West Coast were locked down, maybe could not travel. But the problem with this event is we're still seeing some universities in the U.S. that are still locked down or that are still have extensive regulations due to COVID-19 or have locked down athletes to travel that maybe aren't basketball and football. And that's pretty tough. So we're seeing quite a bit lower numbers than we normally in the past, but that doesn't mean we're not going to do our best to make it one of the best events that the kids have seen.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the results. I got to watch a little bit of the matches from high schools. Hopefully I get to catch some from here too, because I got to scout the next generation coming up. I can't have them sneaking up on me, man. There's a little bit of pride still left in here.
That's true. Let's see you get in the court with Josh and Jack and see what they're gonna do.
Josh has already called me out. Like he's already got a target on my back for that one. I was like, woo! And he's getting better. But speaking of that, so we've got, what is it, high school, junior collegiates. What are the other events we got coming up?
Yeah, these ones were kind of those first two. Well, we postponed doubles, so that one would have been the first one, the kind of premiere. But so we got high schools, we got intercollegiates, and then we, believe it or not, I had the city reach out to me, Tempe, and wanted to host doubles again just later, maybe next month or something. And that just really doesn't work with our schedule. So we're going to pair it with national singles. They're both qualifying events. That's slated for Texas A&M. Unbelievable facility. I went on a site visit like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Oh man, it's nice. Yeah. They were telling me that. I mean, Texas A&M basically runs that city, and their facility is unbelievable. It's top notch, really? And it's all in their kind of main rec center. But they're currently constructing a third rec center. They need 3 rec centers in order to service that many students. So the rec center's not. There's rules on how much rec center weightlifting space and stuff you need per student, and their population for students is growing like crazy. So they're in construction for their third rec center. But we're all in that main first rec center. Hotels are not that bad. There's an issue a little bit this year with some being booked out. So that Prime Hotel, Texas A&M Hotel is fairly booked out, where there's not a lot of rooms available. But we've got other hotel contracts for our host hotels. I'm working on a shuttle now, but man, I'm going to be pretty impressed. It's I'm super excited. So that'll be national singles and doubles. That's May 25th to the 29th. All right. In College Station. Honestly, I fly into College Station. I've had a few inquiries about flying in there. It is a super small airport, but my flights are super reasonable. Believe it or not, my flight here into Tucson was more expensive than my flight into College Station. But worst case scenario, I see a lot of people flying into Houston. Taking, I'm working on setting up a shuttle system at discounted rates. So if you booked your flight already, maybe don't get a shuttle yet if that's your plan, because I'll get that set up pretty soon. But no, we're pretty excited about that one. And then juniors coming up. As we talked a couple times, juniors has been giving me a little bit of a headache. Trying to place. Everything jumped all at the same time, and juniors was like, well, we want to make sure that the kids have a great event. The junior athletes are very important to our sport, to our community. So we have a couple other options. I think I have a location. I'm waiting on one hotel contract. There's another event in town that was eating up a lot of hotels, so it's taken us about a week and a half to negotiate those rates down. And I think I have that slated. But the dates, regardless, are June 22nd through the 26th. So it's that we pushed it back. I made a little bit of a tough call last year, if you remember. Juniors was early. And that's troublesome for West Coast students. They don't get out of school. But so we pushed that back. It's definitely the 26th or the 22nd through the 26th. And then I'll have a location for everybody very soon, probably within the week.
Hey, that's perfect. I mean, it's better for people to plan, better for parents to plan, better for the athletes to plan.
I agree.
School's more important.
And that U.S. Open, man. U.S. Open's coming up. Yeah. So I'm super stoked about that one. That was kind of what I was saying is, unfortunately, I've got some warehousing issues that I got to deal with, our storage space. So luckily, Mike is flying. He's flying in here now, and he's going to help me run this event along with Renee. But I got to fly out to Minneapolis on Wednesday, so I'm flying from here to Minneapolis. I'll take care of those. But we're pretty excited. Most of the contracts are taken care of for the U.S. Open. I'll have the official dates and the times and stuff taken care of probably within the end of the month. But we're excited to go back to Minneapolis. There's been a decade's worth of relationships that built, that we're trying to capitalize on. It's just a little bit difficult at this time post-COVID. And as many people know, those sponsorship contract renewals were very tough. Some of them didn't come through. So we're going to work to rebuild that event to be back in its glory as the way that Doug ran it.
Hey, we can wish you nothing but the best. Obviously, whatever, I don't know what I could do, but if I ever could, bother you, call you on the phone. What's up, Sam? Just whatever I could do.
Yeah, let me know.
Right. But no, so it's important to know. Obviously, I don't have kids old enough yet to even play juniors. If they do decide to play, wonderful. If they don't, that's fine too. I'm never going to force them to do it. I enjoy it and I love it. I want to try to spread as much as possible. Nationals, I'm about 75% sure I'm going to go. Every day it gets better. I had some stuff slated and clearing that out. I should be able to go there too. Was it beach bashes this weekend? You ever played outdoor? You've never played. No, you like on the board with Mike. God, put you and Mike up here. I've been giving him freaking hardships.
No, man. Mike's got 3 decades of racquetball experience. I got 3 minutes.
Okay, but you're at a facility more.
That's true.
Right? Touring. right? Pick up a racket. You know, we could have did beach bash together. Speaking of which, it's this weekend. I believe the 24th through the 27th, right? Yeah.
Their
Troy,
streaming is live too. Their link is live. So jump on there. We'll get that streaming link on there so you can see it.
I've watched many matches, beach bashes. Some people try to say it's like Vegas, but it's really not because it's all one wall and you're on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
My brother has been one time. Well, no, he's been a couple of times. We were almost there this year, last year too. Mike Coulter wanted me to go too, but I was supposed to go first. I just couldn't do this weekend. It was tough. I got family stuff I got to do. But for anybody out there, please support Beach Bash. If you're able to go, if you can't go this year, try to go next year. The athletes are going. There's about, I think, 10 plus IRT pros, and I don't want to lie. So I'm going to say a few or maybe more of the LPRT girls going. They have that LPRT Cup.
They do
for the women. If they do the 3 events, you know, you can qualify and potentially win some more bonus money on the side.
I think they got
can't
191 total, 191 athletes total.
What?
Yeah. So I mean, Coulter and his team, they do such a good job. If you can possibly go there, definitely go. It's awesome. I haven't been there yet, but my God, I hear stories like every week about how cool.
Yeah.
So
man, no. Yeah, and like I said, almost. Hopefully, and I keep saying next year, but I know Vegas. I'm pretty much forced, handcuffed to go. Mike and I think are supposed to play out there. Or either me and Mike Waddell or Mike Coulter. I might play both. I'm tired at this point. I can do what I want.
No,
hey, Connor, you want to play a third event with me?
Nah.
You don't have to run this one. What are we doing here? You don't have to run this one.
I don't think our play styles just don't really match.
I don't even know what that means.
It means you're good and I don't play.
But you're a Canadian national champion.
Oh, my God. You're so
all right.
All right. Well, let's close it out on that one too.
That's everything.
I appreciate I appreciate you letting me co-host with you, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you joining me. I appreciate you helping me through this. You have a lot of valuable information. I think you bring value to the sport. The things that you're doing within USA Racquetball, organizing events, getting everything together. It's not easy. You know, I've ran local events here. I'm not even going to try and think about national events. You know, you have the tall task of trying to take up an event after Doug. That's a task within itself, you know. Thank you for what you do as a player. Thank you. Right. Yeah, forget board member, forget show host, forget whatever. As a real person, thank you for what you do because you're the person out here doing it. Not saying you alone, there's people help, but thank you for what you do.
Well,
it's great to finally get you on here. Yeah.
We got a lot of responsibilities to try and, not only, run these events as well as they have been, but also grow our grassroots programs. We were about to see one of the first upticks in our membership and our play in the community in 19 before the pandemic. So having to put the pieces together is pretty tough, but I'm glad to see, stuff like this still running strong. It's always great to see on here.
Absolutely. And so with that, I pretty much have everything. If anyone's got any so obviously I can't nominate you for real racquetball champion because it just can't. I don't think you'd want it anyway.
No.
But
there's
if anybody out here
crazy cool.
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh.
If anybody's out here who's doing things, coaching, teaching,
right.
Because coaching and teaching are two different things. Trying to just grow it. There was a woman who won for just getting the funding for the outdoor in Chicago. If you're running a shootout like Tara did here, it doesn't matter what you're doing. The guy who has a club built at his house, if you see these people or any player or anyone doing these things, feel free to reach out to us. Send it to you, Connor, at cshane@usaracquetball.com. Yeah. We would love to hear everyone's stories because it could inspire someone else. Reach one, teach one. Any questions you have, you can send them to C. Shane again. You can send them to Mike Waddell. You can send them to me. I promise you, if you send them to me and everybody, we're going to get back to you. Yeah. I get back in about that day, if not the next day. And if I don't have that answer, I will find that answer because it's important to provide correct information out there. We don't like misinformation. I don't like misinformation. That's why I say thank you. That's about everything I got, bro. Anything you want to add?
Oh, I got it. I appreciate you letting me on here. It's cool.
Yeah.
Game 38.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining Game 38. Like and share the feed. Hashtag find somebody on the court. Hashtag get Mike Waddell on a racquetball court. Try and put the racket in somebody's hands. All right. Good night, everybody. Good night, Connor. First.